Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Or good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, whatever time it is in your part of the galaxy. Hope you're making it a great day. I used to use that a lot more when I started my live streams. I got to get back to doing that. That's a more fun way of doing an introduction. Yeah. So, hope you all are having a wonderful 2025. Well, it's going okay so far. Doesn't feel a whole lot different than 2024, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. All right. Got some GACs to play today. We're going to play the Darth Loquitur account. 10.6 million galactic power. And then I'll play my Lex Talionis project. That's a little over 3 million. Creeping our way toward 4 million, trying to get that hard conquest unlocked. So we'll go over there and see what kind of nonsense we have to play there today. I got to start getting some wins in GAC again. My crystal count here is going down. Look at this. We've got 467 crystals left to our name, so it's time to get some more wins, get some more crystals rolling into the account. Oh, yeah, I got to get better just out of sheer greed. You know? Desperation. Crystal desperation. Of course, we always build up crystals when Conquest isn't running, and when Conquest is running, those crystals deplete pretty quickly. So, all right, how you guys all doing? Tell me, did you guys do New Year's resolutions? Does anybody here do New Year's resolutions? I don't really do New Year's resolutions, but I did a sort of resolution about 2 months ago. I can tell you guys about it if you want to hear, like something that I'm doing personally. I might share it with you anyway, just for fun. You know, there's this trait about people who have some extroversion, where sometimes it helps you to know what you think when you say something out loud. So sometimes I like telling stories and kind of like setting the memory by telling a story. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think that's true. I also think it's true that if you have like fitness goals, or you want to lose weight, or you have some New Year's resolution like that, and you just make it to yourself, you're guaranteed to lose. If you're the only person invested in it, you're guaranteed to lose, because the first time you need to come up with a good excuse for why you're not doing it, then, yeah. Yep. You'll make an excuse for yourself, and since nobody else knows about it, it's real easy to just not do it, or to do something else, or to, justify or give it away, right? So anybody who's serious about a New Year's resolution, the very first and most important thing that you have to do is figure out a realistic goal. Here's another truth. Let's say that your New Year's resolution is to lose 80 pounds. And let's say you weigh, 220 pounds, and you're trying to get down to 140. Your mind is going to tell you that that's not realistic. So, well, on paper, you might set this aggressive goal. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to start running. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to get lean. If you know that that goal is BS, no matter how much you get up and prime yourself in the morning and try to convince yourself that you're going to do that goal, deep down, psychologically, you will understand that that goal is not possible, and you'll give up on it, right? On the other hand, if you set an intermediate goal and you say, okay, first I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and then we'll take it from there, right? When I lose 20 pounds, I'll set a new goal. Your mind can grab that, and it can feel like that is very realistic. Set your goals. Step 2, once you've figured out a realistic goal that you want to achieve and you commit to it, the second thing you do is you have to write it down, tell somebody, talk to people about it, start a blog, get on a group, be part of a community. It completely changes how you approach these resolutions if you've told everybody that you're going to do it. Because then when you try to make an excuse for why you're not doing it today, this other mentality kicks in where you say, well, I told people I was going to do it. Well, as soon as I don't do that, my friend Lance is going to tell me I'm an idiot. He's going to know. He's going to judge me, right? Like, hey, are you still doing that thing you talked about? Nah, I quit that after a week. You know, you're going to have to be honest with your friends at some point, and there is a part of us that once we've committed to it publicly, it's different. It's a different mindset. It's a different mentality. It's a different thing that we have to do. So that's step 2. And then step 3 is, you know, inevitably you will come to the point where you think something differently. And the very first time that you're not going to do whatever your resolution is, or the first time that you feel like you're failing, and instead you just take the next step, that's when you've succeeded, right? Because there's always this high point where you've committed to something and you're telling people you're going to do it. And then the first few weeks or months or whatever, you know, maybe you could stick with it for a long time, but then it just starts to become monotonous and dreary and you're not sure why you're doing it anymore, or hard, or what, there's other things you want to do instead. And you get that valley, right? And when you hit that valley and you just push through it and you say, okay, whatever, I don't care. I'm just going to do it anyway, right? You put on your clothes and you go to the gym and you walk in the gym. You lift up a weight and you say, okay, I'm just going to do 1 set of 10. I hate being here this morning. I don't want to be here, but I'm going to walk in the door, pick up a weight, and do a set of 10. And then I'm going to go home. You probably won't go home, because once you walk in the door and pick up the weight and do your first set, you might as well finish, right? The first day that you do that, you've won. All right. So here's what I've done, right? Like I've watched a lot of these videos on a lot of the new science, a lot of the stuff that they're saying is good for you. And slowly but surely, bit by bit, over like the last year or so, I've been picking away at, well, maybe I should look into this grounding thing. You know, they say it's good to ground yourself, right? So how would I do grounding, and is it worth my time? And should I get a grounding mat, or should I, you know, go outside and dig around in the dirt with my hands like some people say to do? Or like, what should I do about grounding? And red light is supposed to be good for you. So what am I going to do? Any of that? Am I going to participate in the whole red light phenomena and try to inspire myself? And all of this stuff takes time, right? I always forgot about Saturday streams. There was me at midnight last night going, come on, DL. Ronnie Lawrence. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I do the Saturday streams in the morning. The second round of GAC is always on a Saturday morning. All right, so my latest project, what I've been working on for the last few months, is this sort of highly intense morning routine. And I'm like doing layers of efficiency in my morning routine. So I have to do exercises. A lot of longtime fans will know that I actually had to have a disc replacement surgery back in 2022. I have my L5 disc is a piece of titanium now, so I had to have back surgery. So I have exercises that I have to do every day. Lay on the ground and do some leg exercises and stretches and something called nerve glides. And I have to do that for takes about 10 to 15 minutes every morning. Sometimes I go into 20 minutes. You know, I do some push-ups and some ab work and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or be super fit or whatever. I'm just trying to not be, you know, a jelly roll on a couch somewhere. So I do this little morning routine. So I thought to myself, well, if I want to do the red light stuff and I get one of those masks that you can wear, then I could just wear the red light mask the whole time I'm doing my morning routine. So I'm wearing this little mask that does the red light stuff, and I wear that, and it's got a 10-minute timer on it. So for the first 10 minutes of my floor routine, I do the mask, and then the other thing that I looked into was this idea of taking a cold shower. Now, as a person, I've been cold my whole life. Like literally, I'm the kind of person that in the summertime when they turn the air conditioner down at the office, I'm wearing a coat in the office and people are making fun of me. But it just chilled me to the bone. It was miserable. I was cold all the time. And so I thought, well, there's no way on earth I'm going to be able to take a cold shower, right? Like if I take a cold shower, I'm going to be cold for the rest of the day. You're just going to be frozen. So yeah, a cold shower in the morning might be good for you, but I can't see where it's going to be good for me. Well then, literally like, I would say October of this year, I was watching this guy named Wim Hof. I'll put his name in the chat if you ever want to look him up. This guy, he's a Dutch guy. Super interesting guy. Like I love his charisma. He's really, he just comes across as such an interesting fellow. Anyway, he's one of these guys that does like the cold water, the ice water challenges, and submerges himself in minus 10 degree water for 6 hours and that kind of stuff. And he's got this breathing routine that he says, helps your immune system and basically makes you immune to the cold. So I did the breathing routine before taking a cold shower, and it worked. It was like a miracle. Like I can't tell you how much it surprised me. Like I did the breathing exercises, I got in a cold shower, like as cold as it will go. And when I got out of the shower, I was not cold. And I've been doing that for about 2 months now. And that part where I'm always cold has gone away. Like I don't feel like that now. I'm not always cold. I don't have to wear 2 or 3 shirts and a coat. And it was chilly yesterday, and we went out, and I carried my jacket with me and never put it on. We went to Indiana for Christmas, and it was cold there. And I got out of the truck to pump gas, and I left my coat in the truck, and I was standing in my shirt, and it was like 40 degrees out, and I wasn't cold. I can't believe it. It's like, it is crazy. Crazy. Something has changed in my metabolism. All right, but in order to do these breathing exercises, I kid you not, I had to do them for like 10 minutes before I could get in the shower and make it work. If I just started doing the breathing routine and got in the shower, I would like be miserable. So, like I've been chipping away at the efficiency. So now I've got my bathroom set up. I've got my grounding mat. I stand on my grounding mat. I do floss my teeth, brush them, do mouthwash, shaving. I have to do a neti pot to clear my sinuses. Take my asthma medicine. I keep doing the breathing cycles the whole time I'm doing my morning routine. Then I'm ready for my shower. I get in the shower, take an ice cold shower. And the whole thing, front to back, takes me about 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes. So I can grab a cup of coffee, do my exercises, do my morning routine with all the self-care in the bathroom, take that cold shower. And I'm in the shower for a good 7 to 10 minutes. When I first started doing it, I was only in there for like 2 or 3 minutes because I couldn't stand it. But I've kind of challenged myself to stay in the shower, to really take that cold shower for a good 7 to 10 minutes. So that's my resolution. It didn't come as a New Year's resolution, but I'm committed to that. Like that is my new morning routine, and I'm going to do that every single morning. Every single morning I'm going to do that religiously and take that 30 to 40 minutes just to do all the stuff that I don't really like to do all at once in the morning, get it out of the way. And then I can say, okay, well, if something else comes up that's new and modern, I want to add it to my self-care routine. I'll just try to find some way to fit it into that little window. So, yeah. Izanami says, I did the Wim Hof breathing to test it and effortlessly held my breath for like 3 minutes. BB says he used to take cold showers after work. It was nice. Jellywatch says, I overshared a little bit. What can I do to solve the problem? You overshared. I assume you mean overshared. Overshard. Well, it depends what you overshared. So, I'll give you a line from, if you're talking about oversharing, I'll give you a line from, what's that? Ted Lasso. So, Ted Lasso got some traction, and among people who are leaders, there were some interesting conversations about whether Ted Lasso was actually a show about good leadership or, a particular style of leadership or what really was in there and whether what he was doing really works in the real world. So as a leader, I had some interesting conversations about the Ted Lasso stuff. But he's got something in there that says goldfish have a memory that lasts 10 seconds. And that's a recurring theme through a couple of the shows where he says, hey, we got to be like a goldfish. You lose a game, just don't remember anything but the last 10 seconds. Learn what you have to learn from the game, watch the video, do your critiques, and then just move on. Don't keep reliving what went wrong over and over and over again, or you're doomed. Just forget it and look forward. So if you overshared, if you told people stuff that you probably shouldn't have told them, if that's what you're talking about, then, you overshard farming too many tunes. Okay, well, I'll continue with my story, but with my misunderstanding of your question. But yeah, I think sometimes when we do things that we regret, the worst thing we can do is dredge that up again and have another conversation with that person or go over it again. If you owe somebody a sincere apology, just give them that. Just give them that and say you're sorry, and then forget it and move on. I've seen so many people, and people have done this to me before too, where, again, in a leadership position, sometimes like in the middle of a meeting, somebody will say something, they'll be a little bit upset about whatever the topic is. And I had a really open format that I thought was a very safe place for people. And occasionally people would say something, and then later they would come back to me and they would, I'm really sorry I brought that up in the meeting. I shouldn't have spoke out like that. I was just in the heat of the moment. We were talking about this stuff, and I feel strongly about it. Okay. What's done is done. It's all good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Go back to work. Don't make a big deal out of it. But if they just keep coming back to you over and over again looking for some kind of absolution, it gets annoying, right? Hey, I'm glad you recognized. That's it. Acknowledge it. Move on. Be a goldfish. 10 seconds. Then you're on to the next thing. So Jelly Watch just said he's farming too many tunes. Man, I'm telling you, this is the thing that saves my life. What I do, and let me switch off here just for a second. Let's go to a different screen. Let me get my presentate. Okay. So let's go over to here for a second. And then I can try to look something up for you. Okay. What's gone wrong? So I plan stuff out. And I say, okay, what is it exactly that I'm farming and why? All right. Done. Relic priority. What am I relicking and why? Put it on a list. I update my account every week. I update this about every 2 months. So if you find yourself wanting to farm a lot of characters, the question is, why? What exactly is it that you're trying to do? And I think the Lex account might be an even better example because, I went from farming profundity to farming, let's say, you know, a bridge group that was a little bit of the Jabba journey and a little bit of something else. And then I focused just on the Jabba farms, and now I'm focusing just on the Jedi Knight Revan group. So bit by bit, I just isolate that stuff, and then when I'm in the game, I've got these farming tabs set up, and right now I'm not even as focused on dark and light side as I have been for like the past 4 years. I'm just farming the new stuff. So I've got the new characters here, and I just farm the 3 things that are farmable. I'm farming Enoch twice. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 farms, right? And that's it. It's identified, it's defined. I want Hunter, I want Tech, I want all these characters out of the Cantina someday, right? I put them on the list, but I know exactly what I'm farming. If you farmed too many characters, then just figure out which ones that, like, figure out which ones you're really going to work on. And again, just focus on those. 3 tiers of play. Again, I'll remind people who've never heard me talk about this before. But I always think of things in 3 separate tiers. The first tier is, who am I relicking? That's the one character that I'm focused on. It's up here on my favorites. And every day I'm looking at that character and putting gear on it, and I'm taking that character toward relic, right? So for me, we're going to do Enoch. We probably will do Bastila, Fallen, Darth Talon along the way. So if we go back to my presentation, that relic list, okay. Talon's next on the list, right? 5 Talon right there. Done. Then we do Enoch. So at the highest level tier 1, who are you relicking? Tier 3, who are you farming? And then tier 2 is the stuff in the middle, right? And the stuff in the middle is always everything in between. So all of these characters right now fall into that tier 2 category, right? So tier 1, I'm relicking characters. Tier 2, these characters need to be brought up to gear 12, but I'll do that with whatever gear's left over. So I'll work on the characters that I'm focused on, then I'll start dropping gear on these characters, whatever I've got left over, and then whatever shards that I'm farming. I hope that makes sense. I mean, that keeps me very focused. And there are times where I think to myself, probably should have started farming that ship a little sooner, or something like that. But typically, if I make these farming lists and I understand exactly what it is I'm working on, it's no problem. Do you ever relic characters just because of a datacron? The answer is generally no. If there's a character that I have at relic and they get a datacron, and let's say there was one for Treya, and my Treya is relic 3, I might put her to relic 5. But for example, there was a zombie cron, and there was also a Asajj Ventress cron, and not only did they have those datacrons, but I developed level 9 datacrons for both of those. Okay. So, Ventress, relic 5. I didn't relic her for the datacron, she just happened to be relic 5. Zombie, relic 3, never took her to 5. There's one character that I did back when you even had to go to relic 7. Who was that? Who was that? It was somebody unusual that got a datacron that was really good. It was a long time ago. I'm looking through my relics trying to figure out who it might have been. But I think once there was a Datacron that was really good, and whatever character that was, I took it up to Relic 7 just to participate in the Datacron. So I know I've done it at least once. Was it IG-88? I don't think his Datacron was good enough for me to have done that. You know, it might have been IG-88. It might have been IG-88, and I tried to make a Grievous droid team with him or something like that. Yeah, so, I don't know. I mean, as a mostly free-to-play player, if I'm trying to get all my relic levels on Ahsoka Journey, I don't have materials to go back and put them on other characters just to take advantage of Datacrons. And the Datacron's going to be gone in a couple months anyway, so... yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd relic characters for Datacrons now more than I'm in the end game. There's extra gear once you have all the Galactic Legends, so why not enjoy the Datacron season? You did Embo once, and IG-88. Wow, KY's got a better memory than I do. Embo? We did Embo for Jabba the Hutt, for Territory Wars. So maybe I took Embo from 3 to 5 for a Datacron. But yeah, Embo got built for his Territory War Omicron. Do we know if Baylan is any good yet? Need to decide between him and Bo-Katan. My understanding is that Baylan's good. I've seen him one-shot really good teams. I think Baylan is a character that you take on offense. I think if you control the matchup, there are certain things that he's good at. I think his Datacron right now makes him hard to judge, because most people who have Baylan have also built the Datacron for him. So knowing what Baylan looks like without his Datacron is probably not going to be generally publicly available until his Datacron is gone. I don't think he has a lot of utility in the whole game, though. I mean, I don't hear people saying in Territory Wars or something like that. I haven't heard that Baylan teams are a problem in Territory Wars, for example. So I think I would go for Bo-Katan first. I think Baylan's good as an offensive tool, but I think Bo-Katan's probably better. She's got matchups where she's very reliable. Beats Gungans, beats Lord Vader. We did Lord Vader on auto with Bo-Katan. CT6969 says, hey, Darth. New raid needs consideration too. God knows what's needed. Yeah. Well, I think that whatever comes next will start to be an indication. So I don't think Ahsoka is going to be linked to the next raid, or at least if Ahsoka was going to be linked to the next raid, I think we would have heard about that by now. So I think whatever comes out with the next season of Marquise, I think that will probably be stuff for a new raid. Because the new raid should come out, like May of this year? April, May? Something like that? If we take that 9-month timing. Bad Batch then? What would a Bad Batch raid be? What would we do with a Bad Batch raid? Have Bad Batch done something that included a lot of different stuff? Bad Batch haven't interacted with a whole lot. I guess they did interact with Saw Gerrera, right? So maybe that that sequence of Bad Batch. What would the raid be, though? I guess where they break into the compound? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what a Bad Batch raid would look like. Or a Bad Batch themed raid. Because any new Bad Batch characters, any old ones, and then, you know, you could potentially pull in like Saw Gerrera and some Rebel elements. They haven't been highly monetized recently, right? So they could go back and, you know, put that content into the raid and then force people to make Saw Gerrera teams. All right, well, let's get in here and take a look at this GAC. We've been chatting for long enough. Let's get into it. All right, my opponent, Papybaka. Papybaka de Lion. Inflamed baguettes. Flammable baguettes. Baguettes on fire. Fiery bread. All right, the flaming bread. That's what I'm going to call him, the flaming bread. Okay, 11.8 million galactic power, 7.2 in characters, 4.6 in ships. That means pretty much all the ships. Galactic War Battles, 132,000. 8 years played for this player. Twice as long as a Loquitur account. Leviathan, Profundity, Executor, all the stuff. No reason to even look at that kind of thing anymore. 8 Galactic Legends. All the stuff you would expect. Jedi Knight Cal, Inquisitors. Queen Amidala, Relic 9. Bo-Katan 8. Ezra Bridger Exile already in the house. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon Relic 8. Wow. That's a commitment. That team has been good, though. Malgus Relic 9. All the stuff here. Gungans as well. Let's see. I'm sure this player would have Gungans. Yeah, there's Gungans. I guess Balin. Just look and see if he's got Balin. No Balin. And then Ahsoka, I don't see that he has the Galactic Legend Ahsoka yet. All of his Ahsokas are 9, though. He's close. He's ready to go. He's getting there. Okay, let's take a quick look at mods just for funsies. Ezra Bridger Exile, fastest character in the account, 346 with a speed set. Again, that is quite a commitment. 12? 12 speed mod on your fastest character? Okay, this is strange. 22, 23, 24, 24, 18. I don't see many 26s and 27s. All right, so I think we have a little advantage over this player in speed. We'll have to pay attention. Still got a lot of characters over 300, but I think we actually do have a little bit of a mod advantage over the Flaming Baguettes candidate here. All right, let's take a look. We've got Sir Jinda Malicos with a level 9 Malicos Datacron. We've got Jabba. We've got off-brand Inquisitors with a Datacron for 8th Brother. And we also have the main Inquisitor team down south. Starkiller team with Starkiller Datacron. Nasty. Okay. And down here we've got Rey, Third Sister, Queen Amidala up top here. Got Gas team. Is that Gas or? That is Gas. What is this team? Gas with Kiadi Mundi and Eth Koth. Okay. I'm lost. Maybe that was a team that was somehow good with the Eth Koth Kron. I don't feel too threatened by that team. Maybe I'm underestimating it, but no 501st. It's just gas with a couple Jedi. I've seen people put gas in a team before where it's like a Qui-Gon team with gas and something else, and they try to fool people into thinking that it's a normal like Jedi Knight Anakin team. But a gas leadership, his 4 Zetas just stick out like a sore thumb. I don't know what that team is. And then we got a Keller and Beck team. So there's a few teams here that I don't feel too threatened by. Let's sort it out. Let's see what we got. So this third sister team with the level 9 Datacron here. We've lost to third sister with JML before. We've lost with SLKR. Last time I tried this setup with the SLKR, he got like 1 turn at the start, and then they just took 27 turns and killed my SLKR. Have you played Star Wars Unlimited, the card game? I just got into it, and it's a lot of fun. I played a Star Wars card game that was dice. It was dice and cards, and I liked that game a lot. But it really didn't have legs. Like, after a few months, the local tournament scene died down. And, yeah, so if there's a new card game based on Star Wars, no, I haven't played it. BB Aftermath says maybe he didn't look at the portrait. Maybe he didn't look at the portrait. Oh, you think that he thought that that was Jedi Knight Anakin? Misselected. But I could see that if it was Jedi Knight Anakin, like in the second slot. That's what I'm saying. You know, I've seen it before where like in a Qui-Gon team or something like that, people have put gas in there, either by mistake or intentionally. But as a leader, that seems odd. All right, so Queen Amidala. JMK and JMK and Darth Bane have worked against that for me. I really haven't developed another counter. So I feel like we have to use Bane here and JMK here, which means we probably have to use JML here. All right. So if we use Bane, JMK, JML, we can use SLKR here. We can try to use Night Sisters here. We've still got Sith Eternal. We can two-shot that. We got to use Sith Eternal down here. Okay, so we probably have to Sith Eternal this Star Killer. Okay, so if we see this, trying to Night Sister that, we should still have Bo-Katan and some other stuff left. All right, so I think there's a route to success here. So I don't think the things that we're planning to use here are going to stop us. Let's try this one first. If Bane fails here, boy, we got problems. This team is, for whatever reason, this team is very hard for me to beat. I have lost to this team probably more than any other defensive team. Resistance, penetration, potency, armor penetration. I don't think we really need the potency. Dark side, tank, revive. Just damage, crit chance, and crit damage. Maybe that's best. I want more of a defensive Datacron, but the defensive stats on this last set are more like health instead of defense and things. It's got offense. It's 25% turn meter, though. That doesn't really do us any good. This has got a ton of crit damage. That's our Inquisitor, Grand Inquisitor Kron. Yeah, we'll just use this level 6 one. 20% crit damage. Alright, it'll have to be good enough. Okay. Alright. We'll do that. Get rid of some buffs. And Sidious is instantly dead. Just instantly. Man, getting rid of buffs on these guys is so good. Do a basic here. Wow! Look at that. We got her low enough to do a basic and just, have that be the end of things. No revives off of basics, right? Okay. Battle 1. Successful. All right, let's go in here with some Galactic Republic stuff. We'll get the kitty cat. We'll get the... We'll get the tank in here. What are we going to do for a Datacron? Ufus start with damage immunity. We can have cat with damage immunity for 2 turns. Is that good? Potency protection. Tons of crit damage. Yeah, I kind of like that. Just do a lot of damage. All right. Hey, just a check on the music. Is the music volume good, guys? Do we like the music? More music? Less music? You tell me. Let me know. Let me know if you like it or don't like it. All right. Bang. I also been working with the music generator to generate some more like lo-fi music. So every now and then when I do a stream, I'm just going to do, totally chill music instead of the, let's say, a little more intense battle music that I've got going right now. All right. Just wasting time. Nothing to see here. Cleanse off some debuffs. Do. Waiting for an alt. Waiting for stealth to go away on the enemy team. Yawn. This is the height of exciting gameplay. Ooh, boy. We're going to lose Kenobi, huh? Well, you know what? We better just do the alt here. Try to keep Kenobi alive for another... Yep. Alright, so our savior effect is gone. Fine. Oh, dodged again. Always dodged. That stupid skill. I gotta try. Somebody told me that a trick with Kenobi is to put on an accuracy arrow. I really need to do that. I gotta take notes. Accuracy arrow. On JMK. All right. See, guys, take notes. LOL. All right, let's go. Looks like we got to get back to the decoy. We'll try to... You know what? This is... Oh, never mind. What happened there, Ahsoka? She did like no damage. She hit the decoy for nothing. Decoy has been tickled. You know, it's not great to write notes for yourself for later about JMK when you're in the middle of a battle. So take notes, but don't take notes when it costs you time in a battle that can time out. We should be fine. Put it in auto. Nothing to see here. Clyde says music. I can't hear any at the moment. Volume is fine for me. The music is nice too. Clyde says must be something to do with my device. Huh. You should be hearing like a ticka-ticka-da in the background. Or maybe my music sounds so much like Star Wars music that people think it's coming from the game. All right, what are we going to do for Ray Ray? Pick some Jedi. Let's take in Skywalker and Hermes Yoda, and that'll save back Cal Kestis for a more meaningful battle. This should be fine. Let's try to get something that has offense. Just flat offense would be nice. Can we sort by offense? Sure. Ah, 17% offense. Nice. That's my Imperial Trooper one, though. I don't want to burn that. It says 8% offense. A level 5 Datacron. That's the best we can do? Sad. All right, let's look for protection then. Let's look for protection up. 24% protection. 30% protection. There's a dark side Datacron, but we can grab that, I guess. Just use the protection then. Fine. The offense is for Jedi Knight Luke to be able to do more stuff. The protection is to get more out of the special ability here with JMK. Try for a stun here real quick. Ooh, that was a nice hit. Okay. Send it back over here. We got to keep going on Ray. There's a whirlwind. Okay. There's another whirlwind. Okay, we got Ray below half. We need to just keep working on her. She's going to go into the alt, but if we can get her low damage as possible, now we can go over here. Try to get a little work done on him. All right, we sometimes lose Hermit Yoda on this. Yep, we did. Not entirely a surprise. Damage immunity up. And raise as low as she can go. All right. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. Good. Done. I know I've watched a stream without headphones and the music was barely perceptible for me. I really like it that way personally because it doesn't pop above the voice of the person. Clyde says, yeah, I'm not using headphones. That must be it. Really? So the music sounds that much different depending on what device you're listening on. That's interesting. If the music is too loud, somebody said that originally, like when I changed the music at first, that the music was too loud. So I have indeed turned it down. I've dialed the music back. All right, this gas. I'm tempted to just use CLS because, you know, CLS is pretty good at dealing with gas. And, yeah, seems fine. Do we have a Rebel Okran anywhere? Something that says Rebel anywhere on it? I got a pretty lame start to my Datacron season here, so we don't have as much to choose from as I would like. Okay. I don't think we need that much of a Datacron. Let's pick something that's a little less good. Something with a little bit of damage or penetration of some kind. This has got a bunch of crit damage on it. We'll take that. I just looked it up out of curiosity, and there are 43 people using an accuracy arrow on JMK in the top 100 guilds. I take it 43 doesn't feel like a lot. It says that people are doing it, but not a lot of people. That's interesting. Okay, we don't even have to attack gas, right? Like, there's nothing motivating us to actually focus on gas first. So off we go, killing the other Jedi. We'll change stances real quick just to get more turns. Okay. Ain't no party like an overkill party. All right, and then this setup. Keller and Beck, I mean, it does damage, right? Keller and Beck and his Jedi can do damage. There's no Datacron. I hate battles like this because I don't want to use a good team on it. Like, it doesn't deserve a good team. But if you underestimate it and you don't take in a good enough team, then you've got the opposite problem and you lose to it. So, what do we have that's good enough to beat this team without being too good? Wasting resources. What about Phoenix? Rex is on defense, but I do have some Phoenix. I don't know. I need a really good, like, B tier team. I don't want to use Mandalorians because I might use them on the back wall. You feel bad when you use a good team to beat them, and you feel worse when you waste an attack. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I've done that before, and I've been like, you know what? I'm not going to use a lot on this. I'm going to, lay back and take it easy. And then you lose the matchup, and you're like, oh, son of a... Yep, that's exactly it. What do you guys think about Imperial troopers for this? There's no Datacron, so we should be able to kill this cat super fast, right? 120,000. But that shouldn't stand up to Imperial troopers, right? Of course, if we have to two-shot Jabba, the troopers look pretty good for that. All right, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do some Jedi on Jedi action, and I'm going to take Revan, Cal, and Yoda. I got my Qui-Gon team on offense. What do you guys think about Qui-Gon? Maybe we just run Qui-Gon into this. I don't know. Qui-Gon is kind of an explosive team. It's good for blowing things up. Let's just do this. Let's just do 3 good Jedi. And we'll target Snips first. Just run through them. Okay. Let's do this. And it wastes a good team, and Cal is... Cal is one of my auto-kill characters on this account, so I like to save him for better things. Oh, that's interesting. So Snips is in stealth now. Okay. I'll take that stealth. Why not? Ooh, Cal's getting beat up. Ow. Savior popped. Remember what I said about this team doing good damage? Turns out they do good damage. All right, let's hit this with Yoda. Nice. Swing it around to Cal again. And that'll set us up to auto-kill Beck, as long as we don't somehow get auto-killed ourselves. Okay. Yeet! And that'll put an end to that Keller and Beck unkillable nonsense. Good. Yeah, that stealth on Cat was unexpected. Wish I would have got her marked first. Okay, we got Gungans on the back wall. Glad I didn't use Bo-Katan. We've got a non-Zori Bliss resistance team. We've got Ewoks, Tuskens with no Omicron, and some kind of separatist team. All right, so we saved Bo-Katan back, and it doesn't look like anything back here is terribly threatening. That's a relief. If he had JMK, if my opponent watches this, man, if you have this defense and you put JMK on the back wall here, I would have been done for. Because I really have to use JMK to get through my the Padme team, the Queen Amidala. So with that in mind, I mean, JMK on the back wall would have been doom. It's actually kind of what I expected to see, but glad I didn't. All right. This. Sith Eternal beats this, right? Pretty sure. We'll use a tank. I think I'm going to use the Ninth Sister as a tank. Not Tambor. The other thing I could do here. I was going to say I could put in the Armorer and try to do that, but the times that I've tried to put the armor in, she's only Relic 1, so it takes away from our ability to get much done with Datacrons. Okay. 15% max health and protection seems good. It's got a bunch of health on it, a bunch of crit damage that we aren't going to make that much use of, but okay. I kind of want the max health. Take it. All right, let's put a box on Sith Eternal. Let's get Starkiller and Mara Jade. They're in love, guys. Look at them, they're in love. They're a duality in the Force now. I'll put Weapon Tech over here just to try to get more turns with the tank. Try to do something. Taunt immediately removed. Okay. Let's heal up. There's no healing immunity or any nonsense right now, so I can actually heal the tank for a second. All right, into the alt. Tuskens with the Omicron has been saving me in Carbonite. Tuskens with the Omicron at Carbonite is pretty tough to deal with. Oh boy. He got that off fast. Oof. All right. Give us a turn. That team does not care about me having a tank. They're like, don't care about tank. We're not deceived. We're not fooled by you, Sith Eternal. We'll just target you and kill you. And Sith Eternal says, no. Unlimited power. All right, we're going to try the Night Sisters here. You know, because it's kind of the thing that we have to try. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of Night Sisters. Look at this. Filling up with all kinds of Relic Night Sisters. Okay, we'll do Daka. And let's try to get a good Datacron here. What do we got? 71% crit damage. That doesn't help us much, right? Let's go look here. Deal special damage to target. So crit damage would work there, right? Crit damage. We could try to take extra crit damage. This is an Inquisitor Cron. I don't want to use that up yet. This doesn't really help us. This has got a ton of crit damage. That's all it's got. Has a little bit of tenacity. I don't want the tenacity. That's the problem. I really don't. I want tenacity on Marin, but if I put tenacity on the Datacron, then the other Night Sisters resist all the stuff that they throw at me, and they don't die, and the combo doesn't work. Resistance penetration. We're doing special damage, so resistance penetration works, right? Tenacity, though. Come on. Potency offense. Everything has tenacity on it. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Okay, fine. We'll take this one. We're not getting much Datacron love. Marin, Old Daka, Mother Talzin. Let's go. All right. For anybody who hasn't seen this combo before, basically Marin can get to the point where she just takes an infinite amount of turns, near infinite. But you have to get the other two Night Sisters dead, which happens often. But the problem is under Talzin lead, when you kill an enemy, a Night Sister comes back to life. So what can happen here is that if we actually kill somebody like that, see, and Talzin comes back to life, and sometimes that goes very badly for us. So we stack up a whole bunch of plagues over there. Okay, and she did die from the plague, which is good. But now we did get Daka back. So we're going to put it on auto basic and just let it run. And just hope that Jabba can kill Daka. If Jabba doesn't kill Daka, then we end up with a situation where we have to clean up the Jabba. And we save those troopers. Earlier you heard me talking about saving the troopers for this. So if that turns out to be the case, then we'll throw some Imperial troopers at Jabba and try to clean this mess up. But as long as there's another Night Sister living, the combo doesn't quite work. And unfortunately, there's no way for me to... Oh, that should be it. Daka died to some bombs. All right, now, so we got 3 minutes to chew away on Jabba. And unfortunately, my combo isn't perfect because my Night Sisters aren't high enough relic level. Marin's extra turn meter is based off of like the relic level of the Night Sister that dies or something like that. So until I get my Mother Talzin to like relic 5 or 6, there is a hole in my combo, and Jabba does gain turn meter. The moral of the story is I don't care. If I get this Jabba battle down to a 2-shot where, the Night Sisters go in and do the work, and then I clean it up with troopers, I'm perfectly happy with that. Killing a Galactic Legend without having to use my own Galactic Legend is nice in any case where you can do that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Starkiller and maybe then having an answer to Rey that's not a Galactic Legend. That'll be nice. I'm close, right? So we get Talon to Relic, then we'll have all the characters at Relic. Of course, I need to get them up to Relic 5, which I have to bring up my Ahsoka characters to their respective Relic levels before I start putting Relic levels on other people. But I think we got Mara Jade at 3, or maybe she's at 1. But we'll have everybody at Relic. We've got Kyle Katarn, Relic 1, and we'll have Talon at Relic. So, yeah, if everything works out, we'll be close to getting Starkiller here soon. That'll be nice. I think I may even get Starkiller before Ahsoka because I'll get the Relic levels long before I'll get the farms on that last round of characters with Hu Yang and General Syndulla, Padawan Sabine. Whenever they become farmable, we'll set the timeline. But I think Starkiller will actually be in the account before I get Galactic Legend Ahsoka. That'll be nice. Maybe I'll put my Omicron on those Tuskens, too. I need like 20 Omicrons for the account right now because I want to get Luthen up and running. And to get Luthen up and running, then I need... Omicrons there. I need Omicrons for so much stuff. Look at that. And we got a Night Sister to come back to life to give us some extra banners there at the end. Look at that. 52 banner victory with Night Sisters. Nice. Folks, that was a Relic 9 Jabba the Hutt. Relic 9... Was it Relic 9? I guess Relic 8 Jabba the Hutt. I'm going to go look now. Because I think it was 8 on the Hutt, but then 9 on the other characters. Let's look at his Hutt cartel real quick here. No, it was 9 on Jabba, 9 on Chrysanthemum, and 9 on Bushi Leia. 9 on everybody. Man, if he had a Datacron on there, oof. I think a lot of players do that, though. A new Datacron set comes out, and like for the first round of GAC, it feels like people just forget to come in here and update their Datacrons. All right, Malicos. Let's do 122nd Order. And who's our third here? Huxley or... Yeah, I think I've played Hux in this matchup before, and Hux just gets killed instantly. They remove the taunt off of Unmasked, and they just kill Hux. So I don't even think I want Hux in the group. I don't think he's adding any value. We'll put in a First Order Stormtrooper. We'll go with something offensive here. This has got a ton of crit damage, 75% crit damage. We'll take it. So we'll just go in here with 2 tanks. Maybe I should have put in the red trooper to try to get more attacks. I didn't, though. Okay, let's... Okay. Let's get resilient defense locked. Okay. Now we'll just do a basic then. Wow. That 75% crit damage appears to have made a difference. That's a lot of crit damage, y'all. That's a lot of crit damage. And I think my guy's just offense. I don't have... I'll have to check. But I think I have an offense triangle. I did some calculations a very long time ago, and crit damage is better than offense on your triangle for 2 sweeps. So the third time that you do any kind of sweep with, 40 or more stacks, then you're better off having offense because, remember, the SLKR kit is increasing your critical damage. So having a higher base offense as you increase your critical damage creates a certain curve. Having higher critical damage already, makes a steeper curve at first, but then that curve, gets behind the offense curve very quickly. So for short battles, the crit damage one for the first couple hits is better. And you saw it in that combat, right? When I jacked up my critical damage, man, I took that Malicos out fast. All right. We have gas. We have gas. We have Bo-Katan. We have Admiral Raddus team. We've got Remnant. We've really got a lot of good stuff, right? So I think we can use gas here and not feel guilty about it at all. I don't know if we need gas here, but I'm going to take it because there ain't no party like an overkill party. So let's just put a decent Datacron on here. Eighth Brother Datacron doesn't seem to me to be that big of a deal. But let's not underestimate it. Taking a good team here. So they've done pretty good damage to the clones already, but you can see that they're, at least they, at first here, they don't seem to be hitting gas that hard. I'll say that, and then like the next hit, they'll just zero him out and he'll sit down. Okay, he's half protection. Poof. And we're through their tank. Gas, not the greatest banners in the world. If you're, pinching, trying to make the best banners, Gas is one of those characters that he usually wins, but he wins with like 54 banners or something like that on most of his victories. All right. 54 banners as predicted. Okay. Luthen. What are we going to do against Luthen here? Try this Rogue One team against Luthen. The Rogue One team has been reliably pretty good, right? Put in a decent Datacron. I don't know. I mean, they if they just target Raddus and go straight in on Raddus, they may have enough damage to get it done. But I feel like if we can hold out till that hope goes off, we should be able to hope for something good and expect a good result. Okay, Kyle's back in business. Jin's laughing at these boys going, "You can't kill me. I'm invincible." Man, I love that skill. I still love that skill. Her second special is low-key busted. All right. You know what? We're going to save this for one more turn. I really want to have the expectation that I'm going to kill this rebel trooper. Bang. We also killed Mon Mothma. That's interesting. So this is kind of a foregone conclusion now. Nice. 54 banners. 54. Why wasn't that 55? We healed up off the hope, right? Oh well, take it. All right, Gungans. Let's Bo-Katan this. Man, person DeLoreans. Interesting. Interesting. In the 3v3 version, do we want Mando or the tank? I think we still want Mando, right? We still want to try to trigger the whistling bird thing. Paz for the extra true damage. So you like the Paz in there? Pavoni fan says, since you won't unlock Ahsoka Tano for months, Why not unlock Starkiller first so you can profit from the team? Relicking Galactic Legend Ahsoka Rex won't help much before that. So that's a theory. But what happens then, if I get to the end of the Galactic Legend Ahsoka journey and I don't have the materials to relic, and I'm waiting like 2 or 3 weeks on her, that's the thing. You know, once I know that I have the materials secured, I'll be happy to get Starkiller. I've lived without Starkiller for this long, so I'm not in a hurry to get him. I get what you're saying. If I just put all my effort into Starkiller and then switch over to Ahsoka, I'll probably still arrive on the same timeline. There's a logic to that. There is a logic to that. I don't know. Yeah. Galactic Legend Ahsoka is still my priority. So I just want to make sure I get there on time. But it'll work out basically the same way. I'll only delay Starkiller by a week or two by focusing on the Galactic Legend Ahsoka first. I'm okay with it. Keep my current system of organization in place. Wannabe Gamer says, late to the party, I dropped almost 200 banners, but still might win since he hasn't cleared my JMK. And Ray and Ben with Ezra. Zeta has 2 battles on it. Ooh, nice. I used CLS, 3PO, and Chupio, but they had Baze instead of Kyle. Kyle would have been too much damage. I did Radis versus Mon Mothma, and she didn't die like that, and revived Kyle, and Radis just timed out. Oof. In terms of efficiency, Starkiller has more immediate value. Yeah, I mean, it's fair logic. But again, my logic is I always have like the top priority project that I'm working on. So I think it's organized in a certain way in my mind, and I'm reluctant to change that. So the focus is on Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano if I get other things in the meantime. Once I get Starkiller, I still have to relic him, and you know he'll be relic 3 for a while. So I'll build into it's like the Malicos team. I mean, I built the Malicos team, but Malicos is only relic 5, I think. I still need to put more relic levels on him. I still need Zetas and Omicrons for that team. So I'm just building it up slowly over time. I've got the Luthen team. There's not relic levels on the Luthen team, and it's just kind of sitting there waiting on all the Zetas and Omicrons. So I've been able to bring characters to Gear 13, but I just don't have all the other resources to deal with them. I'm going to have Darth Revan, Malgus, and Malik relicked. And same thing, I'll have them at Gear 13, but I won't have the ability to take them up quite yet. But when I do, when I'm done with Ahsoka, then I'll be able to get Leviathan shortly thereafter. You know, that could be my goal. All right, I got to put the desk down. My feet are getting tired. I got to sit on my ball chair, get the boing going on. The hard farm for Hera, Sabine, and Huyang are going to take longer than you seem to estimate if they're not from Cantina farms. My estimate's based on farming them 2 or 3 times a day. So the first character that comes available, I'll be farming 2 times a day. The next character that comes available, I'll be farming 2 times a day. And then when that last character comes out, I'll be farming that character up to 3 times a day. So I'll shorten the timeline by refreshing the nodes. I don't do that often, but when I'm in a hurry to get something closed out, I don't mind to spend just on those last few characters to accelerate the timeline. So that's the reason I'm calculating a shorter timeline, is because I actually do intend to reset those nodes. All right, let's get in on these Gungans. All right, Gungans. They come in, they do 17,000 damage in 2 turns. All right, I'm just going to take all the hits on the generator right away. Beautiful. All right, let's give him a little fire, because putting things on fire makes me happy. In the game, guys, I'm not like an arsonist. I don't condone real life putting things on fire. Only in the game. I don't know why, but I'm greatly entertained by that buff. The same thing in Fleet, like the Imperial TIE bomber that lights all the rebels on fire. It's very satisfying to put that flame buff on and just watch the rebels fail. That's like one of the most satisfying buffs. All right, I think I'm going to use the Dark Side Mandalorians here. They're pretty good about dealing with resistance type teams. Plus, I like when he's angry and I just push the button a lot. You guys know that, right? Resistance hero Finn in the lead. That's an interesting choice. Okay, we'll just power up for the next round of going crazy. Die, die, die. Click the button, click the button, click the button. It's so good. So entertaining. All right, that's good. Ewoks. I don't know what I should use to kill the Ewoks, but I know what I have. So let's take these Remnant team characters in here. Let's give them a ton of offense. And use them to kill the Ewoks. Should be good. I think we're going to target Wicket first. Nisa can be annoying to try to kill. So we'll take one Ewok out first. We'll take Chirpy out next. And then once Nisa is on her own, probably doesn't have much of a chance. She's going to give it a try, though. I like that we have days on her so she can't counterattack with that stupid basic that takes an hour to execute. Still not as bad as Cara Dune, but close. All right, let's look for some banners here. Let's do the Imperial Troopers here. Standard team. We've got another Trooper Datacron somewhere, right? Well, that's not that great of a cron, but it has Imperial Troopers written on it, so let's go. We'll get our Dark Trooper. I'm going to put a note here. We got to take a look at Dark Troopers mods. I think I've been farming a lot of offense mods recently, and I got to check and see if maybe I could do better with his mods. I think he'd be worth a look. Well, we didn't get the Alpha killed in time. So now we have to deal with that nonsense. Another brute to kill. And now we really are going to try to kill that Alpha. We'll hit Newt. We should be able to kill Dooku with this volley. Good stuff. Imperial Troopers. Still good after all these years. And now, with their name on a Datacron set, life is good. Life is good. All right. Tuscans, last character team. Then we got some ships to do. This is this is Wampa bait, right? Because it doesn't have the stun leadership. Doesn't have good characters, doesn't have the Omicron. This should just be a team that we could just wampa and kill, right? Get some banners. All right. 59 banners. We'll take that. That's pretty efficient. We didn't drop a battle, right? Cruising through. Got decent banners on most of it. Okay. All right. Let's look at ships now. What do we have here? Okay. We've got the... Oh, nice. We've got a mirror match here, but it's a Relic 8 Piet. Folks, the Relic 8 Piet... You know, usually I tell you guys, this is something you could look at, this is something you could consider, this is how I do it, this is, you know, it's not right or wrong. But I'm telling you guys, if your Piet is not Relic 9, when you go up against a Piet that is Relic 9, it's pretty much an auto loss. So that's pretty important in the fleet meta right now. I really think your Piet has to be Relic 9. All of the good mods, maxed out, all the Zetas, all the stuff. You have to get that, at least get the coin flip to go first. At least get the coin flip. If you're going to be doing Executor versus Executor matches. If you have something that you think is a better counter to this Executor fleet and you don't use the Executor versus Executor matchup, then, I mean, that's fine. But if you're using the Executor versus Executor, I just feel like if you don't have a Relic 9 Piet, you start out at such a disadvantage. Okay, we still don't have our Death Mark up and running, unfortunately. Let's try to stun. And then let's just try to do damage. Okay, now we can put the Death Mark over here. Let's bring in our own tank. I've got my headphones playing just so that I can hear that the music is playing. And I don't know, some of this music really gets me going. I like it. So this one to me is jamming. All right. Death Star engage. Let's go. Let's just kill off this tooth. Finish things off for good banners. We lost one ship, but 71? Yeah, 71. Okay, we've got Radis and First Order. So, Radis, Relic 5. We've got a Profundity, we've got a Chimera. I feel like the Chimera fleet or the Executrix fleet or whatever we do would be weak against Radis. So let's take the Profundity in against the Radis, and then we'll just try to clean up. First Order fleet, we'll have our own First Order fleet and the Chimera. So maybe we'll use that with Executrix and put a lot of ships on the board at first. This person doesn't even have Ray's Millennium Falcon as part of his starting lineup, which... can you guys think of any reason that would not be the case? I mean, I feel like you always put Ray's Falcon in the starting lineup if you expect to use a comeuppance, right? Boris Balkan says, I'm late. Good luck, DL. Wannabe Gamer says, my Malicos is Relic 1. Since I don't have Amis, he will sit there for a while. Yeah. I love when House Fizzla was in charge. Mandos were the Mandos were the days. Do you have Ezra Exile? No, I don't. I slow roll the Conquest stuff, and I get most characters after 6 sets of Conquest. Queen Amidala, I did do the red box, and I put in the work on Queen Amidala, mainly just because she had known... we knew she was going to be in the raid, right? So I wanted that team for the raid as soon as possible, so I grabbed her after 3 Conquest sets and ran with it. But for the most part, I don't go for characters that quickly. We fought Ezra Exile in a Ahsoka team, and he is like ridiculously durable. I think that's what we found out from that, from reading the kit and looking at it and fighting against him, is the durability on that character is over the top. So yeah, when I get him, that'll be great. Pavoni Fan says, even that way, as we're obviously all doing, refreshing the nodes will still take several weeks. It will take several weeks. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that, like, as soon as Hu Yang's farmable, the next day I'm ready to go. But when you finish a Galactic Legend journey, so it's not just that you have to finish those characters and get them to Relic, right? Those characters have to be finished into Relic, and then you have to have materials so that when you unlock your Galactic Legend, you can also Zeta and, get the Galactic Legend up to speed. A character like Ezra Bridger will have to be brought online. So, yeah, I don't know. I have my way of planning for a Galactic Legend finish. And I'm just going to follow that routine that I've done before. I feel like that's fine. Chimera here. Executrix, I think, is better in this matchup. And then I think we want the tank in the starting lineup. So let's take a look at putting this tank in here. All right. So we'll fill it up with reinforcements. No, we won't. We won't use that many reinforcements. We'll only use 2. I don't think there's any way this ends up going that long. All right. And we will probably target the shuttle first here, actually. Because the shuttle just enables a whole lot of nonsense with... Okay, let's do this. And then we can bring in TIE Defender. I'm actually just going to go for damage, not a stun. Strip away buffs. Just to get the... we should hit hard here. We'll just go in. Okay. All right. That wasn't too bad. Just went for the damage routine, 71 banners. Okay. All right, what else we got in chat? Seen a lot of this Radis comp lately to hinder Empire counters. Usually Ebonhawk in the reinforce. Gotta say it, Mandos. Mandos. Person DeLoreans. You got to change everything from man to person. There's a company called Manpower, temporary service agency, and I think they're changing their name to Human Power. got to be politically correct with all this stuff. So I think my Mando squad, I think I actually called them Person DeLoreans. Check this out. There we go. Look at that, y'all. Person DeLoreans. Don't want to offend anybody because, you know, Bo-Katan, not a man DeLorean. I know it's silly. I know it's silly, guys. I'm not being serious. This is not a political statement. I'm just trying to make you all smile. This joke is like Luke's first day on Bespin. Worst ever, hands down. I love it. You know how you know that Luke was a really good son? You know how you can tell that he's a really, really good son? Even when his dad was being a total jerk, he was still willing to give him a hand. Yep. Those kind of jokes. All right. There's a lot of good Star Wars jokes. Okay, log out. Did you guys see my my thumbnail? I put a TIE fighter on the thumbnail, and I laughed at this picture because it looks like this TIE fighter is like 20 meters away from us, and it's still going to miss. It looks like it's right on top of us, and the laser cannons are still going the wrong direction. So I don't know why, but I thought it was a very humorous, subtly humorous thumbnail. Made me laugh. Troopers are that bad. They're going to miss at point blank range. Okay. I think I figured out my problem with opening and closing. Had to do with a different program that I was running. So while I had this other application open, it somehow interfered with the Google, using Google to log in, and it was triggering error messages. So when I have that open, I tested this out. When I have this other program open, it creates problems with me switching my accounts. As long as that's closed, no problem switching accounts, which is kind of ridiculous, but true. Okay, let's switch over to Lex Talionis project. Let's get the right title down here. Let's put that as Lex Talionis. Looks like we've got enough materials to put another piece on our Lando Calrissian here. We got energy in the bank, so let's get rid of that. Can't have all that energy built up. That's nonsense. All right, throw down some energy. And 164, 143, 140. Sure, we'll take this. Grab some more slicing materials real quick. While they're giving away free shards on the nodes, look at this. Got to get some Grogu going on. Okay, let's take a look at our... Oh, we won. Won our last one. The opponent just stopped playing, I guess. There's no way that he, like, got stopped by those teams. There's no way. So he just played a little bit and then got bored with it and left. That's got to be the case. Oh, he dropped a battle against Radis. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see what our next opponent looks like. Avarice of the Death Watch. Awakened Resistance. 3.1 million galactic power. Oh my god, it's almost a fair matchup, guys. What am I going to do? It's a player that looks like, almost like my account. This is crazy. How does this happen? How does this match? What? How is this not 6 to 11 million galactic power? All right, 1.9 in characters, 1.2 in ships. Galactic War Battles, 179. Almost 2 years. Probably a pretty casual player then. No big capital ships. Character-wise, not that many relics. Okay. If my opponent watches this, take a look at the fact that you can get crystals from Fleet Arena and consider building that Executor as your first big journey. Get in there, build that Executor, start getting fleet crystals. I know some people are just casual, chill, having fun with the game. But, you know, there's stuff out there. And he ran up against this Profundity and went, well, that's the end of my clear. All right, so we've got to clear him off fully to get this win. Let's see what he's got. These teams, no threat. These teams, no threat. Okay. Wow. This looks too easy. Let's totally underestimate the power of these teams, get shut down, and be sad. No, let's not do that. Let's take the Empire here. And I do think I want Thrawn. I don't think I want Mara Jade. Okay. We'll do the kick here so Geo Brute can't even counterattack. We get the Force Crush first because Palpatine lead says we get that for free. All right. We will reduce the Geo Soldier and then yeet the Spy. Force Crush him again, get another free turn. See if we can shock some people. Stuns across the board. Look at the control. Pass this over to Vader. Yeet. 67 banners. Let's go. All right. Rebels. Gear 11 Rebels. What are we going to do against Gear 11 Rebels? Oh, Dash Rendar solo. You're right. You're right with that warning. We can use a Datacron. We probably should. That's not what the warning said, but that's what I'm going to do. Dash Rendar solo. Let's go. Bang. Okay. Fulcrum says, nar. I ain't falling for it. Okay. How about this? 59 banners. Okay, let's see what's on the back wall. Anything to worry about back here? Nope. Oh, look at this level 1 characters. All right, Boba Fett solo. We'll go up in the air with a rocket. Here we go. 59 banners. Let's go. All right. We like those kinds of battles. Resistance. What's the hardest thing that we've got left on the board? Not that. Up here. This is probably the hardest thing. This Gear 12 Kylo Ren unmasked. We'll do Luke, Han, Chewie. Against a high relic Kylo Ren unmasked, you would not want to do this because you could literally stall out the game and time out. But against the Gear 12 crew, I don't think he can. He doesn't have what it takes to stand up to my Han Solo damage. Okay. Let's try to get rid of this officer. Target over here. Ramp up the damage. 1 shot, 1 kill. Okay. Threat eliminated. All right. Hux with some other stuff. Wampa. Let's go with Wampa. In we go. Can we kill everything with a single Wamp? Bang. Nope. The answer's no. How about this, Hux? 108,000 damage to the head. That Wampa, though. All right. He's giving me a bunch of one-shot kills here. Anakin. Anakin solo. Let's go. One big hit. Bang. Done. 59 banners. Love it. What do we got here? Stuff. All right. We're winning on banners, right? So if we just take, you know what? We could take a full team here. We don't need a full team. Doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. And nuke everybody. Done. Preserves banners. All right, what do we got here? A Thrawn team. We've got, yeah, no, actually a decent team now here that we can bring in. Malevolence. We're feeling very malevolent. My Grievous is still not even 7 stars. He's been impossible for me to farm up. Okay. So let's do a cleanse here. Let's kill Vader. And then we'll just chew away the rest of these ships. Seems easy. Oh, Houndstooth. What you doing, Houndstooth? All right. Take some buzz droids. All right. I think you should take some more buzz droids, Houndstooth. Let's go. Can we get damage or buff immunity as well? The answer is no. We didn't need it. And we're through ships. Full clear. 66 banners. 1191. That's pretty darn good for Bronzium. All right. Nice. Wampa CLS Troopers Wannabe Gamer says winning by 8. 2 mans all the way. Wannabe Gamer says my small account forgot to join. Struggling to get Boba to R8. Jabba says, what's a stormtrooper's favorite book? A troubleshooting manual. Who wins? Stormtroopers or red shirts? Well, red shirts, I mean, their job in Star Trek is to go down on the away team and not come back, right? So I think by definition, the stormtroopers would win that. Just because, I mean, stormtrooper doesn't have that they lose within their definition, right? They only have that they have problems shooting. So Star Trek red shirts technically must be worse than stormtroopers because they would not come back from the away team. Yep. Rabel says, Happy New Year, DL. Happy New Year to you too, Rabel. How's everybody doing? You doing good, man? You still playing some Baldur's Gate? Or have you moved on to other more interesting stuff? I got D&D this Saturday, guys. So for anybody who's been following my RPG channel, I've been doing some D&D builds, like for role-playing D&D. And what I've been doing that's maybe a little bit different than what other people are doing is I'm building characters specifically to make teams, so that if people are new to Dungeons and Dragons and they say, okay, like none of us know what to build, they could just start out with 4 pre-generated characters that are made, for success. So this Sunday, if everything goes according to plan, the first team that I made like that is going to go through an adventure. So we'll see if just some casual players can pick up the pre-made character sheets and go through a difficult adventure and do well. So I'm pretty excited about that. Get some content for my RPG channel, and maybe that'll be fun. All right, guys. Well, I'm finished with my Grand Arenas for the day. It looks like a win on Lex Talionis for sure. Loquitur, we did well. There's not much time left for my opponent to get in there and do what they need to do. So I feel like Loquitur is going to be a green check mark as well. So I think a good day in the old Grand Arena. Stories up front for anybody who joined later and didn't get the stories up front. If you're entertained by that kind of thing, go back and watch the first 20 minutes and hear me rambling about New Year's resolutions and stuff. That could be fun. All right, thank you all for coming out and watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to like on the way out. If you didn't like on the way in, smash that like button. Leave comments down below. It does help my channel, and I'd appreciate if you could do that. Subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff. Notification bell tells you when I'm live on these live streams. You can also get notification through the Discord server. It's a pretty nice community. There's an Ask Loquitur channel. You can ask me questions directly. Hope to see you over there. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next holiday.